Hi there and welcome to this new video in which I want to be talking about Godot 4.5 okay and Unity 6 in the new AI era. So we know that we have now ChatGPT 5, we have Gemini, we have DeepSeek, we have a lot of options. So the main thing here is, okay, in the new AI era, is there an engine that is better than another one? Is there an engine that has better AI integration than the other one? So that's basically what I want to address in this video. Now, the first thing that we really have to understand is that AIs, okay, are basically trained on data sets, okay? So the more data sets available, the better the AI is gonna behave. And let's say that this is the data set that is available in Unity, and this is the data set that is available in terms of Godot. So the main thing here is that there are way fewer data sets from Godot than Unity. That is why, for example, even if you use a thinking or reasoning model or extending thinking mode in any of these AIs, and sometimes you try to ask ChatGPT more advanced Godot questions, it's unable to answer. Now, something that I want to try out here with you is that, for example, you may already know that Godot 4.5 has been released a couple of weeks ago, and one of the main things here was abstract classes, okay? So does, for example, ChatGPT know that now abstract classes exist in Godot? Because, for example, in Unity, abstract classes have been existing like literally for decades, I believe. So for this test, okay, I'm going to be using GPT-5, thinking mode, and extended thinking. So when you're using thinking mode, you can either set standard thinking time or extended, okay, to even have deeper answers. So I'm gonna try everything that I can in order for ChatGPT to know, to grab the latest data and to understand and contrast both abstract classes in Unity and C# and Godot with GDScript. And here comes the interesting thing. Even though you can have thinking mode, you can have extended thinking, you can even have here, I don't know, not deep research, but you can even have web search, whatever you have. In this case, it's telling me that Godot GDScript has no abstract or interface. Okay. So anyway, okay, it's pretty weird, okay, that basically because this is new data, okay, data that they didn't have when they created the GPT or whatever it is, even though we are using a reasoning model, it's unable to actually grab that latest data. So that's something that we really have to take into account. Now, a possible solution for this could be, for example, copying this link or taking a screenshot of this and telling it, oh, but now they do exist in Godot and you can paste it over here, but let's actually put some space just in case. And I'm gonna put auto mode back on so that it decides whether to use thinking mode or not. Let's give it a second. And now, as you can see, we do have the updated table, okay, that we wanted, for example, okay, and actually now the table is kind of correct, and we even have an actual example on how to implement it. But once again, I had to look up for the link, I had to know that this feature existed. So it's not as straightforward as you have in Unity, that literally you can ask for anything and the AI, due to the fact that it has literally all data about it and it hasn't, let's say, drastically changed in the past years, you're gonna be able to mostly answer or add whatever you want in your game. Now, the second topic that I want us to discuss is basically learning, okay? So it's kind of still related to the previous point, okay, in terms of, okay, Unity, there is way more data about Unity, therefore there are way more resources for people in order to learn it. And also connected to it, okay, we have the time they have been existing on, okay. So Unity has been existing for something like 20 years, whereas Godot has been existing for only, I think it was, at least popularly, it's been just maybe 3-4 years, okay. So what happens is, okay, learning was also a little bit kind of limited in Godot, but in Unity you had a lot of courses, a lot of tutorials. Still, Godot had a huge increase in the number of tutorials and everything that you were able to use in order to learn it, but it still wasn't enough, okay. So a huge problem was when people wanted to learn these engines. Now, what is the cool thing? That AI, it can actually help you learn a lot these languages. So whenever you have a question, you have a code that you don't understand. So for example, let me go to this Godot project over here. I'm gonna grab, let's say I have my player script over here, okay, which is a pretty complex script because this is a 3D platforming game. So this player script handles all this camera rotation, all this movement, all these. So it's kind of not very complex, but it is long. So you can copy all this code with firstly Control-A to select everything, and once you have it all selected, Control-C to copy it. You can say here, explain this Godot code. I can press Shift-Enter, okay, to just leave some space. And once again, I recommend that if you have access to a thinking model or whatever it is, you can use it over here. I will use standard thinking time, so that it takes a little bit longer and I actually have a better answer. So once again, this can be done with actually both engines, so learning is way easier. Previously, for example, if you were following along a course, a tutorial, or whatever it was, and you weren't 100% able to understand the code, well, you could either try to ask the YouTuber or the instructor and maybe they would answer. But anyway, having here like the possibility to understand it and to ask questions and kind of have your personal instructor is something that AI really helps a lot. And the good thing is that it can actually be done in both engines, okay? So that's an advantage that we can have in both Unity and Godot. And the third point that I want us to discuss is the actual coding, okay? And once again, this is 100% related to the previous points that we have been talking about. So these AIs are trained on data, and the more data available of something, the better the answers will be, okay? Unity has way more data available, therefore the answers should be way better. In Godot, it still has a lot of information about it, but not as much as we have in Unity. Therefore, maybe the data is okay, but it's kind of incomplete in some cases. So let's actually do a quick test, okay? Let's say that, for example, here, once again in the player script, whenever I collide with the ground, okay, I want to add a small twin in the player. I want to kind of add some juice and some squish effect, okay? So here I have the code that I have to add in Godot, and surprisingly, okay, it was able to do it in the first try. Of course, maybe it's not as juicy as it could be, but in reality, we do have like all values that we could tweak over here, like how squish in time, squish out time. By just taking a look at the code and asking ChatGPT to make it maybe a little bit more aggressive, you will be able to do it. But in reality here is it has created the twins pretty well, all the twin properties and everything that you needed. So overall, it was pretty cool. And then in Unity, this is, well, a game that I have here. You basically have to survive for X seconds, okay, while killing these enemies. And if you get shot, you basically lose some lives. So it's basically that. So I basically uploaded this code that is the base projectile code. So basically here when it collides with a health bar, so it could be a player or an enemy, depending on which is actually shooting, it's actually gonna take damage, okay? As simple as that. So I basically pasted that code and told ChatGPT, okay, when that happens, grab the sprite renderer, okay? And just add some kind of twin to it or some kind of juice. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this code, paste it over here. This is missing. No, but I believe that I have to install. Yes, I have to install it. It should have told me somewhere. No, it didn't tell me to actually install .twin do twin. Okay, but I will just do it in a second because, well, we should already know by default that whenever we want to use twins, we have to install it. And okay, let's check it out. So let's try to hit one of these enemies. There we go. So as you can see, there we have the effect that I was looking forward to get, or something like that. So once again, what I can tell is that in both cases, coding itself works pretty well in both engines. Okay. So I do have to tell you that for simple cases. Okay. Whenever you want to do something more advanced, okay, maybe you want to talk about inheritance, which includes abstract classes, as we have seen, even, well, in the case of C# interfaces, For example, what are case? Longer or more complex scripts or cases. Well, in these cases, okay, a lot of times what we find is that it's not gonna actually be able to give you maybe a proper answer, an amazing answer, or even answer at all what you wanted. Personally, AI works pretty well with Unity C#. I tell you this because I personally work with Unity and it really helps a lot. It's not perfect, of course. But in Godot, whenever I want to create an example project for a tutorial, for a course, whatever it is, and I want to ask things that are super simple, I know, create a 3D character controller or a 2D character controller, or add these collisions, or even here, not even super advanced stuff, but just kind of connecting scripts or talking between scripts. Like, that is so complicated for ChatGPT to understand how you connect, how you talk between scripts using signals. For example, avoid using getParent, using an auto load or singleton in the case of Unity. Like those things in Unity, when you ask ChatGPT to do it, works flawlessly, or in 99% of cases, those things work pretty well. But in Godot, a lot of times it doesn't work properly. So these are all the things that you really have to take into account when we think about Unity versus Godot in the AI era. So something pretty amazing is that if you go to the description of this video, you're gonna be finding this link over here, okay, which is gonna redirect you here, in which you are gonna be able to get 1 free month of Skillshare, where I have all my courses published, once again, completely for free by just signing in, so that's pretty interesting, and you will have access to all my courses, once again. And even if you then want to continue watching them with just one subscription, you access all my classes or the classes from any other author in Skillshare. Or if you want to buy them individually, you have all the links over here. And sometimes these links have amazing discounts applied. For example, this one expires in 2 days, which is a Unity course with something like 37 students, 22 hours of content. You have a ChatGPT course. You have a lot of Godot courses, okay, focusing on different parts of the engine. For example, this one has 51 students, 4.5 stars of rating across 13 different ones, and something like 5.5 hours of content. So pretty amazing. Make sure to check them out in the description of this video. See you there, and bye bye.